This is the Southside School of Financial Freedom Small Account Update and Market Report for the week ending January 20th, 2023. The market finished higher last week. The Dow Jones Industrial Average increased 1.05% on Friday and was up 0.72% for the week. The S&P 500 increased 1.23% on Friday and was up 1.17% for the week. The Nasdaq increased 1.7% on Friday and was up 2.26% for the week. Looking at the week, we can see that there were 6 up finishes versus 6 down finishes for the major indexes. The market was closed on Monday. On Tuesday and Wednesday, all the major indexes finished down. On Thursday and Friday, they all finished up. How did you do? My small account finished lower again. However, it still generated cash flow. Even when the market falls and or my account doesn't do well, like it has for the past 3 weeks, I still get income or cash flow by selling covered calls and naked puts. This method does not only guarantee cash flow or income, it can also beat the S&P 500. I don't use charts, I don't use fundamental analysis, I don't use indicators or signals, and I definitely don't sit in front of a computer screen all day to watch the market. I simply choose a stock from my watch list to sell covered calls and or naked puts. I do have 5 criteria for choosing stocks to put on my trading watch list. I will not reveal what my criteria are, but if you examine my list carefully, you may be able to figure out the criteria for yourself. The last row, however, is my benchmark row. That is, I measure my performance against gold, silver, and the S&P 500. I choose the stock option based on whether I own the stock or I would like to own the stock. I choose a strike price, an expiration date, a bid, and I submit a limit order. Then I wait for execution. If the sale does not execute, I may change my order or wait until the next day to submit a new order. Looking at my watch list from last week, we can see that the strongest performer on the list was Tilray Brands Incorporated, ticker symbol TLRY, in the second column. It increased 3.09% on Friday and was up 6.95% for the week. Tilray Brands Incorporated is a global cannabis, lifestyle, and consumer packaged good company. Tilray operates through 4 different business segments: cannabis, distribution, beverage, and wellness. The cannabis business segment is engaged in the cultivation, production, distribution, and sale of both medical and adult recreational use of cannabis. Tilray recently reported record revenues, which contributed to the stock's rise. However, the increase in revenue was mostly due to acquisitions. Looking at a summary of results, you can see that Tilray has decreased minus 13.04% year to date. I generated cash flow from Tilray this week. I also generated cash flow from 4 other option contracts, so that's a total of 5. There were 5 calls that range from $3.34 to $42.34. On Tuesday, I sold a call for $3.34, and it wasn't until Friday when I sold more calls. So on Friday, I sold 4 calls, one for $42.34, one for $14.34, one for $6.34, and the last one for $4.34. I also received interest of 81 cents. So that is a total of $71.51, which is not a lot of money, but again, the account is small, and $71.51 in cash flow was 1.73% of my account value. This money is free and clear. I can take it out and spend it, or I can leave it in my account to build my cash balance or reinvest it. If you wanted to increase the amount of cash flow, you would just use a larger account. For example, To 10x the cash flow to $715.10, I would use a larger account. Instead of selling one of everything, I would sell 10. This strategy is guaranteed to produce cash flow immediately and every week that it is applied. However, it does not guarantee the amount of cash flow from week to week, nor the value of your account. The amount varies and the account value varies. So, despite the variations in amount and value, the goal is to generate cash flow and beat the S&P 500. And that is what I am openly showing you every week as it happens. Note, most professional money managers and their strategies do not consistently beat the S&P 500. They usually lose, and they lose by a lot. Last year, this method beat the S&P 500 by almost 12%. But so far in 2024, my account is down minus 20.36% versus 1.5% up for SPY, which is a S&P 500 ETF. That's a difference of 21.86%. So I am losing to the S&P 500 by almost 22% after the first 3 weeks of the year. It is not unusual to beat the S&P 500 one year and then lose to the index the following year. Will I befall this same fate? Stay tuned for next week to see what happens. Bitcoin watch. Bitcoin lost minus 1.81% this past week and appears to be breaking out into a bull market, though it is down almost 40% from its all-time high, which was achieved in November 2021. It is down just about 1% year to date. Some believe that Bitcoin is really the only long-term investment you need. What do you say? What is your strategy? Do you know how to produce cash flow every week and beat the S&P 500? Or will you simply invest in Bitcoin? As you develop, analyze, and implement your strategy, please check back to see how my small account performs against the S&P 500 from week to week by liking, sharing, and subscribing. Thank you.